Okay, so it's recording now. So welcome, Peyton, Casey, and Alan. And hopefully we'll get a lot more because everybody needs to come to this. I have a feeling we'll have a whole lot on Monday. This is the online elementary stats class, and this is an orientation webinar. So the goal here is to show you around the class, tell you the expectations, and answer any questions you might have, and just get you ready. Get you ready for the class. So let me introduce myself first. Again, my name is Larry, and this is my 23rd year of teaching here at Lake Tahoe. And half of that I've taught online. So I've been doing this forever. And maybe longer than you've been around, I'm not sure. So, and this is elementary statistics. It is a math class, but it's a lot different than any other math class you've taken. In that this is the last math class most people take. Is that true for the three of you?
Hey, it is for me.
Huh?
It is for me. It's my last math class. So.
Yeah, I figured. It's usually the last math class. But my goal is not to get you ready for the next math class. That's silly. My goal is to get you ready for what's coming up that might use math in your psychology classes or in your biology classes or your criminal justice classes and in your life. You know, when you're voting, which is happening in a month or so. So, you know, if you're over 18, I don't ask your ages, but, you know, and not a felon and all that kind of stuff and a citizen and etc. Or if you own a business and you want to figure out how to make money, whatever it might be. Stats is the most important class. And by the way, I don't say that in my other math classes. It's the most important class, which is kind of day-to-day stuff. It's used in everything, as we'll see. And it's not used in like an evil way. There's a lot of like bad karma on stats. It's about being more informed so you can make better decisions. It's not you can trick people, although a lot of people think that. It just isn't. Now, if you have bad ethics, that's different. And hopefully you have good ethics. So this is a great class because you can do things that are meaningful. Unlike, say, a algebra class, where much of that, my guess is you'll never use. Does that sound right? Natalie Lamas, let me that you're here. Oh, new person. So let me ask you something. If you could quickly introduce yourselves, maybe say what your major is. It also gives me an idea of what some of the examples I'll give in class are based on who you are, because I want it to be meaningful for y'all. And then we'll go on from there. Kate, since you were first on the list.
Okay. I'm Kate, and I'm an English major.
Okay. And Casey?
I'm Casey, and I'm an administration of justice major.
Administration of justice. I don't exactly know what that is.
Criminal justice, basically.
Criminal justice. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely uses stats.
Yeah.
English, a few little things that use stats. Definitely criminal justice. Alan?
Hi, my name's Alan, and I'm a poli-sci major.
Okay. Poli-sci, huge amounts of stats. In fact, are you from around here, all of you?
I am.
From around here? Are you too? Okay. So just a note, Alan, this will be interesting in poli-sci. There's an election coming up, and Democrat running against McClintock. Do you know who that is?
It's the Lieutenant Governor of Gavin Newsom, I believe.
No, against McClintock. McClintock.
Sorry, Jessica Moore.
Yeah. Believe it or not, she's there because of statistics. It's a long story, but I helped do the consulting and found out they made a mistake in the polling, and I fixed it.
Nice.
Yeah. And people liked her more than the other, even though the original result was the opposite because they blew it. Yeah. Someone didn't know stats when they were looking at the surveys. But in terms of why the Democratic Party decided she should be the one endorsed, which is a big piece of how someone gets in. And I use statistics, and I help that out. So, and we had Natalie. What happened? Fun. You know what happened? Hopefully she'll be back, and hopefully others will come. Okay, so what I found is kind of typical, is that everyone's from different areas. English, criminal justice, political science. We get some business people, psych people. We'll see if that happens. Nursing, another common major to take this class. Usually not so many engineers, but I do actually know I have one because they usually take calculus and stuff like that too. But we'll use it, I promise. What I thought I'd do is I would start going over the class. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my desktop. So that you can see, hopefully you can all see this, you should be able to. So this is the home page, and I'm pretty sure all three of you took a look at it already, correct? Hopefully you browsed through the course a bit. I wanted to go through some of the most important pieces, at least to get started. And I thought I'd start out with the syllabus. So over here towards the left, there's a button that says syllabus. And have you guys looked at the syllabus yet? A little bit, a little bit. So I want to go through the syllabus because it kind of goes over all the expectations in class and dates and things like that. So the first thing is a 5-unit class. Do that meant you had to pay a little more probably, but main thing means that it's got an expectation of about 15 hours a week. That's what a 5-unit, supposed to multiply the units by 3, and that's supposed to be the amount of work, according to the California, or actually national standards. That's the way it is. There's lots of ways of getting a hold of me. Like if you called me now, it wouldn't do anything because I'm at home. I don't usually go to the office on Sundays. But I do have an office number. My email, I check too often. So if I don't get back to you within 24 hours, unless I've warned you ahead of time that I won't, but that probably won't even happen, you should worry about me. Okay? Or maybe we have an electrical outage and there's no internet or something. I'm on all the time. Okay, I'm on a lot. I do sleep though. And I tend to be an early riser. So if you email me after 9:45 p.m., you have to wait till around 4 or 5 in the morning. Just let you know my habits. I tend to be online a lot. I do teach regular classes also, face-to-face classes, I should say. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday, pretty much from 11 until 3, I'm teaching. So you won't get a hold of me in those times. Sure, there'll be other times, I don't know, I have a life, hiking or whatever it might be. But I do check every day for sure. And I'll get back to you. Use my email when you have a question that other people don't need to hear. So things like, I'm going to be taking my test at Sacramento City College on November 2nd or something like that. Other people don't need to know that. On the other hand, if you have questions or comments about content, then you should use a Q&A form instead. And I check that all the time too. And those questions are like, I don't really understand the difference between stratified sampling and cluster sampling. Can you explain? Other people will benefit from that explanation. Does that make sense? And I'll show you the forms in a little bit. One thing about this class is this live webinar. It's always the same link. If you're in now and you want to get in on Wednesday, it's the same link. Same way, same program. It's called Zoom, and it's what the California has. You pay for it. So we used it. It's a good program. I think you'll like it. There's a link that doesn't work yet for all the archived lectures. Orientation is a requirement that you have to attend live, and the 3 of you are. I was really hoping to have more. I think a lot on Monday. But on the regular webinars, those you can watch archived if you want. Okay? It's better to go live if you can. Then you could ask questions, and I'll answer them as we go. But if you can't make it, I post them on YouTube, and then you can watch it that way. Obviously, there's nothing posted now because we haven't had one yet. But right now, there's a link that goes to a prior quarter. So after Wednesday, maybe even after today, this will be a different link that's updated. Any questions so far? Okay, as I mentioned, I've been teaching this for a very long time. I try every year to add some more resources, improve on the class as I go. So that's the good news. Because I've taught this so long, I have a lot of stuff for you guys. So this button right here, this is my playlist for the chapter lectures. In the webinars, they're clean. They are not modern. I'm not going to be talking about like today's current events. These take hours to make. And there's one for every chapter. There's 13 chapters in the book. And you'll see there are 13 videos. And these are pretty long. A lot of people like learning from video. So I posted these. Also a closed caption too. Any questions so far? Okay. I also have short introductory videos each week. It's like maybe a 3-minute video. Just got an overview of what we're going to do for the week. And I have videos of worked out problems. These you're probably going to more likely look at while you're doing the assignments. And but I have a whole set of them all at once if you really wanted. Because while you're doing these problems, you look at a problem that relates to it. Make sense? These are more like 4 or 5 minutes, whereas these full-length ones could be an hour. I also have interactive applets. This will be more important when the exams are coming for studying, and I'll show you that another day. Any questions on these internet resources? Okay. The book is, as I mentioned earlier, fully online. It's free. You could even print it out if you want. And it's what's called CC BY, which means you could even use it. Do something on your own in your English class or something. I don't know. It's an open resource. And this is the book. You go to contents. You can go to any section. So say 1.2. I don't know, just for fun. And then you'll want to read that. This week, we're doing chapters 1 and 2. It sounds like a lot. It's actually pretty easy chapters. It's not what everyone complains about. A lot of language. Okay, you like it because it's English. Okay, a lot of language in this stuff. Very little calculation. But really, really important. If you would like to, and it's totally optional, if you want to have the book on paper version, there are a lot of options. One is print. A lot of pages, ready for a lot of paper and a lot of ink. Another is hit get the book. And then I don't even know what they charge anymore. Get a PDF or offline zip. And you could also get it through, I think Amazon's got it too, and OpenStax. Usually online students don't do that. You're welcome to. The online students are usually happy to do things online. You know, if you're not, that's okay. You know, still a lot online. Any questions so far? Okay, so that's the book, and I'll be referring to it a lot. You do want to read that each week. And it's pretty clear which chapters we're going on. I'll show you in a little bit. I'll let you read through the course descriptions and prereq, because you have the prereq if you enrolled. My grading policy, I just do simple 90, 80, 70, 60. And in terms of the breakdown, there are weekly assignments, one for each chapter. There's discussion forums, which is pretty much true in every online class in any subject. The discussion forums are your chance to practice writing. There's a lot of writing in this class. And the assignments themselves are more fill in the blanks, put the number in, multiple choice, that kind of stuff, because the computer's grading it. Whereas a discussion is where you are practicing like full paragraph writing on analyzing these statistics. So you want to take those really seriously. What I do, and I'll talk about it a little bit, is if you can do it a day early, I'll take a look at it and give you feedback on your post, your first post. And we'll get to that in a bit. There is a proctored midterm, and there's a proctored final. If you're in Tahoe, that's pretty easy because we have a testing center in our library, and it's free. It's open 6 days a week. Not open nights, though. Sorry about that. It is open morning to evening. And you just call them a couple days ahead or stop by, and then they'll set it up for you. If you're not from here, I'm trying to remember which one of you is not from here. Are you from, Kate?
Yeah, it's me. I'm not from here.
Casey, sorry.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I live in Modesto, California.
Modesto. Okay, so Modesto, I have a lot of Modesto students. Something about Modesto.
Yeah.
Are there like billboards with my name on it or something? Because I get a lot of Modesto students, and I think I've been there twice, you know.
Yeah.
Not to teach or anything, just pass them through. In Modesto, I know there's a testing center there.
Yeah.
You can use that. There's also a professor that always, just for the kindness of his heart, sets up a room for students to take the two tests and doesn't charge, which is nice. And we'll get into that later, but Modesto is easy. That happens every quarter. Lots of Modesto students. Again, I'm not sure what's going on, but something's going on with Modesto. Yeah.
What about Rockland?
Rockland.
Like Sierra College?
Yeah, you might want to see if I'm pretty sure Sierra College has a testing center.
Okay.
So that's what I would do. And I would do that early, not late, to make sure that they've got one. If they don't, then it just has to, and often Sylvan Learning Center, they charge a little bit more as proctoring. I think they're in that area. They're all over the state. And they not, if you can find a professor who'll do it for you, that's fine too. I know about half the math professors at Sierra College. I was a president of the whole association of math for a while. I'm on the board still. So Sierra is really active. So I know some good people at Sierra. So they could do it possibly. You could drive to Tahoe too if you want.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah, the only thing about driving to Tahoe is because if you look, they are November 7th and especially December 5th. We may have snow.
Yeah.
So be ready.
Yeah.
If you don't have four-wheel drive or chains, it could be a problem.
Yeah.
It's part of Tahoe. I'd say about maybe 10 to 15% of the time on December 5th will be snow.
Okay.
Is that about right for those who are in Tahoe? Probably. But anyway, there's lots of ways. I know I have one student who lives in Australia. And we'll make it work. They got universities, so colleges, so we'll do it too. So again, I make it work. It has to be someone official. If you're in the military, your commanding officer is fine. Let that work. And I've had that happen a bunch of times. And again, we'll make it work. It can't be like your best friend. You know what I mean? Any questions about the proctoring? Okay, there are also 2 projects. As I mentioned, this class has a lot of writing. I've even had students say they've had to do more writing than their other classes, including English, in this class. So expect it. These projects tend to be around 8 to 10 pages long, and they're essays. So expect to do a lot of writing. And I'll spend a whole half hour or an hour or so talking about the project before it's due. Okay, so the exam policy, I don't believe, especially for this class, in making you memorize anything. Honestly, kind of a waste of time. Better things to do with your time than to memorize, formulas or something. So what I do is I allow you a 3-inch by 5-inch note card. Front and back is fine. And you can take that to the test with you. That's for the formulas or whatever you want to put on it. Totally up to you. But that's the main stuff. Midterms dates are November 7th and December 5th. You could take it anytime before that if you want. So most people take midterm on December 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And most people take the final on December 10th or 11th. If you take it too early, then you're going to miss out on utilizing the midterm and the final review that I'll be giving. You don't want to take it before the review because that's kind of backwards, right? Any questions at all on that? Quiz policy, it probably should be assignment policy. Not really a quiz, it's an assignment. It's like homework, except with online, everything's homework, right? So they're due on Sundays. It doesn't mean you should do them on Sunday. It means that's your last chance. So I recommend having them done by Friday. And if by Friday you realize you're going to need more time, if you ask me for more time, I'll give it to you. If you wait till after Friday, I won't give it to you. Got it? That's my rule on that one. Okay, and I usually give you a few extra days. Okay, but you have to ask me by Friday. Any questions on this? Okay, these assignments are computer-based. Unlike, say, my math lab. Have you guys used my math lab or something like that before? One of the hard things in the first week about that, it costs $120. These are free. Free because I developed it. There's a small cost. Here's the cost. If you find a mistake, please let me know so I can fix it. Got it? Okay, whether that be a grammar mistake or a number mistake or whatever it is, or something's just confusing, because I want this to be as good as possible. And it's now been used for over a year. So all the big mistakes are all cleaned up. But if you find a little one, let me know so that I can make it even cleaner. Because the hope is that we'll be using this. And by the way, there are dozens of colleges using this work that we've been created. I had 2 other people I worked with. So it's not just helping you, but it's helping probably thousands of other people if you can make this better. Any questions on that? Okay, discussions. So have you ever done discussion posts before? Online class? Okay, so every week there's going to be a discussion assignment. Very important. Due on Thursday for the initial post. I'll show you what they look like in a little bit. They're due on Thursday, and you have to have a reply by Sunday. You could do it earlier, and in fact, I recommend doing the initial post by Wednesday, because if it doesn't work, I'll let you know if you do it by Wednesday. If you do it on Thursday and it doesn't work, just take off points. So that's my little deal for you. Oh, procrastination is a bad idea. It's great if you post in the Q&A forum. Any questions about the discussion forum posts? Not sure or whatever. I'll show you that in a little bit. And then I'll be watching and I'll give you some feedback. Maybe other people can give you feedback if you're not sure what to do. Any questions so far? Many of the posts are posting an article. So it isn't about statistics, that uses statistics. And there are a lot of them. For every one of them, I will give you a sample post so that you know what kind of to expect and what you should be looking at. Don't do my post though. Just copy mine. You got to find your own article. And hopefully it's something that interests you. That's the idea. It's very easy to find a current event article, whatever we're doing. That's what's great about this class. No problem. Okay. Any questions about the discussions? Okay. Most of the time, you're just going to reply to one student. If a reply has already happened, don't reply to that student, find another one. Does that make sense? And there's a rubric here. These are the live webinars. You obviously know how to get in because you're here. But I'm worried about the other 37 people. Hopefully they'll all come on Monday. Because if you don't go to this one, it won't matter for the 3 of you, but you'll be watching this as an archive. You have to write a 5-page paper. So I have a big incentive for the orientation, watch it live. I want to remind you, one of the main points of these webinars is for you to be able to ask questions when you have them and participate. So please, any question you have, stop and ask a question. Drop the mute button and then ask, okay? That's what makes this better than just watching a video. Okay, in terms of the times for the webinars, I tend to not have them the same day and time every week. Because if I do that, let's suppose I said everyone is going to be 6 o'clock on Monday. The problem is if you have a class on, say, Monday, Wednesday at 6, you'll never make a webinar. Make sense? But what I do is I usually post on Thursday-ish when the next week's webinar is going to be. And what I also will do is I'll look at any request you have. You can post a request in the Q&A forum. And then my only thing, though, is if you post a request, a time for the next week, I make it that time, you need to be there. Unfair? I'll ask. Okay, so request and then not be there, that's just bad. And so I'll usually say yes to requests. Again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I teach my face-to-face classes. So that'll never be a yes. No, and then some things happen here and there. But I'm usually free in the evenings. Tuesday is pretty open. So lunchtime on Tuesday works well. It's better to have it towards the beginning of the week, towards the end, so that you can watch and participate in the webinar and you'll be ready to work on the assignments. Make sense? So I usually have it most of the time Monday or Tuesday. Sunday, I'm doing it for the orientation. That one I want you to do live, although I don't have too many here. I find that a lot of people can make Sundays and they can't make during the week. That's why I'm doing it today. Any questions about the webinars? A biggie is that if for the regular webinars, this one's different. The regular webinars, you can either watch it live or you can watch it on YouTube later on within that week. And at the end of the regular webinars, I'll give a secret word somewhere in the webinar. Okay, it'll be obvious, so it's not secret in the webinar. If you don't watch the webinar, you won't miss it. And then there'll be a secret word quiz. You need to do that quiz. If you don't watch the webinar, which means you didn't get the secret word, there's a 5% course penalty per webinar, unless you write a 5-page essay. Do not, and this is a course penalty. This is not, oops, missed. This is not an assignment. This is for the entire class. If you miss 2 webinars, you can't get an A in the class. Okay, so you have to go and watch them. Okay, but they're on YouTube. Okay, so there's no excuse. Or you can write a 5-page essay, which is no fun. Last quarter, I had a student have to write 25 pages. Horrible for the student. The student didn't believe me. And I told him, hey, here it is. So don't miss this one. Any questions on that? Webinars are usually an hour to an hour and a half long. Okay, that's pretty typical. Okay, in fact, last quarter, I think all of them were anywhere between 60 minutes and 90 minutes. So I try to keep it that way. Any questions on the webinars? Okay, the projects. Projects are group projects. You could have 2 people in a group, or you could have 3 people in a group. It's your choice. You cannot have 1 person in a group. Okay, if there's 4 of you, split into 2 groups. Okay? But you must have a group. I created a Project 1 discussion forum, and that's the best way to find partners. I'll show you that in a little bit. Right now, I'm just going through the syllabus, and then I'll show you the forums and stuff. I'll get into the details of the content of the project on another day. It's too early now because we haven't had the statistics yet. But finding a partner, you could do today if you wanted. You could even ask each other if you wanted. The most important thing, find somebody that works on your schedule. If you tend to be a procrastinator, and you find someone who isn't, you're going to kill each other. So make sure that you're working on the same timeline. Okay? The town you live in is much less important because this is an online class, so you're expected to be able to communicate online. Whether that's Skype or email or whatever it might be, it is a requirement to be able to work online. I should probably look at my emails in case somebody's having trouble getting in. Just a minute. Got 3 emails. And they're not from students, I don't think. Yep. Natalie, who came in and left. We're having trouble. Okay, I'll have to do that later. Sorry about that. Okay. Any questions about the project? Okay, the Q&A forum I've talked about a bunch. It's a place to ask questions, and I'll show it to you. I have an anonymous feedback quiz. So if you ever have something that you don't want to tell me who you are, you have some recommendation for the class, that's a way to do that. Okay, it's optional, you don't have to. Of course, you can always just ask me or tell me. So the netiquette guidelines, the main thing is be nice to each other and be professional. I'll let you look through the list of that. I have office hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And those are the times. So I'm in my physical office. I'm at my computer. So if you want to use this thing, we can. Just let me know and I'll log on. Got it? So drop me an email and say, I want to talk to you in office hours at this time. And then I'll make sure I'm logged on. Can also work with you at other times too, other than not teaching. Okay, the one requirement that might cost you some money, other than proctoring, could cost you money, is a calculator. You have to have a calculator for the tests. You have no chance of passing without one, okay, because statistics is heavily calculator based. The recommended one is a TI-84. TI-83 also works, so does the TI-89, and so does the Nspire is fine too. Those all work. If you live in Tahoe, or you can get to Tahoe, you can rent them out for the entire quarter at the library. Just go in there and rent it out, and it doesn't cost. Oh, sorry. Let me change this. Maybe I'll change it now. So we don't make any mistakes. It is an error here. I have good news for you. It was an update from last quarter. I like this update. So instead of $5, which is what we used to rent it out for, new price is free. You can check it out for free. You are responsible for turning it at the end of the quarter, though, after the final. So what I did is I found out we had enough money, so I didn't need to charge. What I do is I buy them. It kind of sounds mean, but high school students are suckers. I'll sell them right after the AP exam on eBay, and then I buy them, like very little money. And then I put them in the library, then you can rent them out. If they were smart, they would wait until August. They almost double in price in August for the used calculators. They're not. So we don't have business majors, but that's the kind of thing you do as a business major is you learn how to take advantage of financial opportunities. Any questions on this? Okay, if you don't have a calculator yet, I've created a spreadsheet program, and that's what you're going to be using for your projects, by the way. And that does everything we do in the class that the calculator does. And it's free also. Unfortunately, because it's an online resource, I can't allow you to have it during the test, those 2 days. It works for everything but the midterm and the final. And I just can't have you be able to get email and stuff like that. And hopefully you understand that. The idea is that there's no big rush for the 84. You definitely have to have it. If you have a learning disability, whatever your accommodation needs are, we'll make sure that they're met. We have a disability resource center. You can click that, and that'll send you to the website. You also email the disability resource center, and again, they'll work with you. I'll work with you, and it'll all happen. Sometimes it happens at your testing center in your town. Sometimes it happens here. Depends on where you live and stuff. We'll make it work. Tutoring, there's a lot of opportunities. There is tutoring. Oh, one more change. I should have changed last year. Sorry about that. It's not A201 anymore. That was old time. There's tutoring at no cost, library. But it's an online class. So obviously, a lot of you can't make it to our library. The good news is it's online tutoring. And times are even better than the library. They don't even take Christmas off, which I don't quite understand. It's 365 days a year, 24 hours every day, except every 4 years, it's 366 days a year. And all you have to do is go to the net free online tutoring. So let me show you that it is. Scroll up. And you'll see free online tutoring. Click that, and it'll help you out in statistics. Any questions so far? Okay, so that's pretty much it for the syllabus. Let me show you the course. So the module button is your main button. The first bits are kind of what I showed you in the syllabus, all the links in the syllabus. I want to go to week 1. It's how you're going to be going through this class. You're going to go to the week it is. This is a 12-week class. And starting tomorrow, we're in week 1. And if you just click there, first one, give a little intro. I don't remember how long it is, but 3 minutes. Not long. Recommend you watch it. When you're done watching it, hit the next button. And that's kind of the next thing you want to look at. This is the orientation we're in right now. And it shows what's going on. There's a link, like so. Then go to the next button. And on Tuesday at 6 o'clock p.m., we're going to have our first regular webinar. That's one that I recommend you showing live if you can. If you can't, you can watch that on YouTube. Any questions on that? Okay, and you just click, and that gets you in. Okay, it's the same link we're on now. Next. These are the student learning outcomes, what we're doing for the week. Next again. These are the videos for chapter 1. The video for chapter 2. These are all the short videos. You'll notice all the little resources and stuff. Next again. This is a PowerPoint in case you want to. Some people like to print the PowerPoint out and take notes as they're watching a video. So that's up to you. Again, provide more resources than you need because everyone has different learning styles. You want to make sure that whatever your learning style is, you can learn. Okay? So try not to get too overwhelmed. As long as you're learning, I'm happy. Got it? This is chapter 2 PowerPoint. This is the assignment. Okay. So I don't expect you to be able to answer all of these questions now. After reading the chapter in the book and after watching the videos, you should be able to get these. Okay. If you still can't get them, post on the Q&A forum and I'll be able to help you out with them. If you copy and paste, like paste it right into the Q&A forum, and then I'll know what you're talking about. Okay, and others will too. I can actually find out the question you worked on. Others can't. So it's better to copy and paste it into the forum so other people can benefit from your question too. That make sense? And so this week, for chapter 1, there's 15 different questions. You can skip around if you want. Again, they're not all multiple choice. There's some you have to type in numbers. They're kind of short stuff. Any questions on that? Okay, and this is graded, so you got to do it. Lose points in your class if you don't do this. Next. This is chapter 2's quiz. There's 14 questions on this one. And again, it is what it is. So for this, for example, calculate the sample and population standard deviations. If you don't have your calculator, luck. It's brutal. So this is where you need a calculator. Or a computer is fine. Any questions on that? Okay. And then don't forget to hit submit when you're done answering the question. If you get it wrong, I don't know if it'll work because I'm not a student right now. Let's suppose you thought watch it be right, but I don't think so. Submit. Got it wrong. You could try another question. And it'll give you another question that has the same kind of stuff, okay? And then if you get that right, then you actually get full credit, even though you got the first one wrong. That make sense? I recommend keep trying until you get them right. Okay, this week is the only week where there's 2 discussion posts. And that's because this week, I want you to do something that kind of fun, introduce yourself, nothing about statistics. Then I also want you to do one with statistics. I'm going to do this one. You can see what it's like to do one. So here's the question, 2 truths, 1 untruth. Please introduce yourself by stating 2 truthful facts about yourself. 1 thing that's not truthful. We'll see if other students can guess what are truthful and what is not truthful. Respond to 1 other student's list. See if you can figure out which are truthful and which are not truthful. Got it? Finally, after someone has responded to your list, comment on whether that student was correct, and then write about how you plan on using statistics in your future coursework or career. Please post a link by Thursday. Okay, it's not a link, but make your post by Thursday. The students have enough time to respond, and you get full credit. What you're going to do is you're going to hit reply. And then you're going to type your truths and untruths. So, see if you can guess which 2 of these are true. So now I'm make some out. One's gonna be true, one's gonna be not true, and I'll just make some stuff up. How about I personally disconnected. One in. All right, a math guy. There we go. The communication for the space shuttle, causing its landing to be delayed by a day. 2. Now I make another one up. My PhD is in statistics, and my dissertation was a quantitative approach to nonlinear survey methods. And summer, I walked from my house in Tahoe to Yosemite. Okay, so 2 of these are true. 1 of these is not true. I'm going to post reply. I'm not going to tell you which one is true and which one's not true. Now it's posted. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to reply. For this one, reply to a bunch of them because it'll make people happier. The shot, see if you can guess. You can reply to mine too. Okay, very easy. Okay, this is not supposed to stress you out. This is supposed to be fun. Got it? It's not easy to get it right. I won't take off points if you guess wrong. Okay, any questions on that? By the way, then to reply, you just hit reply. But this reply replies to my post. So if you want to reply to your classmate's post, you hit reply on their post. If you want to start your own, you hit reply up here. Right? Okay, let me hit next. And now it's going to get more serious. So this is the discussion forum for chapter 1 and 2, basically. So for this discussion, please first find an article online or course video, discusses a study that was done, uses one of the sampling techniques we've discussed in this class. Right? You'll want to search online for a journal article, news article, or a course video. One resource is here, then post just the link to the article. Then find a link from another student's post that has not been analyzed by one of your classmates. Reply to that student's post discussing the sampling technique that was done in the study. Comment on whether the technique produced a representative sample. Identify any biases that may have occurred. Describe how the data collection could have been improved in order to avoid these biases. Okay, so I always do a sample link. So here's an article on American views on whether Congress should approve of Kavanaugh or Supreme Court. Sampling technique can be found by clicking on the bottom that says survey methods. Okay, just a note, when you post a link, this one, it's a little tricky. You copy and paste a link in here. At the end, hit the space bar and it'll make the link appear as a link instead of just words. That make sense? Don't hit the space bar, it doesn't make a link happen. By the way, if you go to this is a Gallup poll on Kavanaugh. They did. You'll see it's kind of amazing that Republican Democrats, like backwards. They're the exact opposite of each other in terms of approval. Not too surprising though. And then at the bottom of the article, I'm not going to read the whole article to you, but you can. Survey methods, particular one, because so if it's a little bit hard to find out where it is, then guide the person. Does that make sense? Guide your classmate on where to find the survey method. Don't answer the survey method, what the survey methods were. Help them find it if it's hard to find. Click on survey methods, then there's a survey method. Right? Okay, so then there's something you're not supposed to do. I replied to my own post. Because I do that as a sample. Reply to your classmate's post, not your own post. Got it? Don't reply to mine because I already replied to it. Right, so the article states, and what I did is I just copied and pasted that part where they talked about the survey methods in the article. Okay, results from the Gallup poll are based on telephone interviews, etc., etc. Then this is my part. Researchers use stratified sampling technique based on type of phone and time zone. This helps avoid some bias. Use of random digit methods eliminates many other biases and makes the data collection close to random. However, participants are not given incentives for participating. This leads to volunteer response bias, especially with telephone surveys where many hang up or just don't answer. It's difficult to determine whether those who tend to answer phone surveys are more or less likely to want Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court. Providing an incentive for answering would have made the sample more representative of the population. That is also more costly. That's kind of what I want your response to look like. Does that make sense? Okay, that's where you show that you really understood the chapter and where they talked about sampling techniques. Any questions on this? Any questions? Okay, just a note, go back to modules. I kept hitting the next button. You're not going to do that for the whole one. It'll take you probably too long. You may not have enough time in one sitting. You can always go back and look at it. Okay, then there's a secret word quiz. You're not ready for this yet. You'll notice the secret word quiz. I hit preview. Yours won't look with a preview. I'm an instructor, so it looks like this. Yours will look like this in a second. What was the secret word for the week 1 webinar? Of course, you don't know the secret word yet. That will happen on Wednesday. You type in the word and you're done. Okay, it's not a trick question or anything. You have to know the word. Okay, so that's week 1. That's what you'll be doing this week. If you go back to modules, and by the way, just to make it easier, you can click that. It kind of closes it up. And then it's easier to get to the week you want to look at. And you'll see week 2 is real similar. Webinar stuff, content, assignment. Any questions on how the weekly work is going to go? Any questions? Okay, I want to show you on this discussion right here. If you click there, there's some, oh wait, this one shouldn't be there. Okay, so you'll see right here, Q&A forum. Right now that's empty, because nobody's asking questions yet. That's where you post questions. Hit reply, post your question, right? Basic. Project 1 discussion forum. Same thing, except this is for specific questions about Project 1. Things like, I'm looking for a partner. I'm going to work way ahead of time, or I'm not going to work way ahead of time, whatever it might be. And whatever your needs are, you can talk about. And then once you've got your partner and you start working on it, then you're going to post something like, here's my idea for the project. What do you think? And then I'll answer. Make sense? That's a project discussion forum, project 1. There's also a project 2. I'll post up there later. See where it says pin discussions? That's the ones that are relevant. So what I do next week, I'll take week 1 up, down, I'll put week 2 up. Make sense? So that you can always find them in these pin discussions. But this is a quicker way to get to the discussion for week 1. It's the same link. Any questions on that? Okay, the next thing is, let me launch Student View, because I don't want you to look at, there's no grades yet, but still. If you go to grades, it tells you how you've done on everything. So I got 1 point out of 15 on chapter 1, sampling and data. Okay, not very good, by the way. Don't be proud of that. And it'll show you what your grades are for the quarter. Okay, for everything you've done. Questions on that? Okay, you can also, just kind of fun, there's a way to, like say, it's a what if button. I'm trying to remember where it is, but it's somewhere. You could say, well, I got an 82% in the class right now. What do I need on the final to get an A? And you could actually type in what you think you might want in the final, it'll tell you your grade. Maybe I'll show you another day if you want. Not that important, but it's kind of fun. Let's see where it is, but it's somewhere. Maybe not show it for mine because I'm the instructor. That was in here somewhere. Any questions on this? Okay. You can also go more things. Go to people. It shows you who's in the class. And you can message them or whatever. Make sense? It's a big class. Let me see if there's anything else. Pretty much an hour. told you always between an hour and a half, an hour and a half. I think I'm going to unmute you. I want to encourage you to talk. Except it won't let me. You muted yourselves. There we go. But I do want to have conversations. You've been quiet. Any questions or thoughts about anything?
So is it the same Q&A thing that we're gonna like reply, like have our questions up every week? It's like the same thread.
Yeah, the Q&A is for the entire quarter.
Okay.
Sometimes, especially if I get lots of Q&A, I'll do a Q&A part 2. Because if it gets too long, it gets a little unbearable. Find things. At least for the first 6 weeks, we one Q&A form. Maybe for the whole class.
Cool.
This is a pretty big class, so I might make it 2. And have a first half, second half, or something. Okay. And it gives me a notification when there's a new one too. Okay, that's a good question. Again, first time a lot of you have seen this. The good news is that California became a Canvas college. So we all use the same system. I was on that decision-making board, California. Choose Canvas because it's pretty easy to use. You can use your smartphone. I don't recommend this. I had a student take the entire course, my course, on a smartphone, including writing a 10-page paper. I don't know how you do that. I'm not a big smartphone user. Would never write a 10-page paper on a smartphone, but you can. Again, this works on all devices. That's the good news. Any other questions? There is an online midterm that's going to happen. I think it's in week 4. I'll mention that when it gets closer. Just let you know that. It's a big percentage of the regular assignment grade. And that's not proctored. Any other questions? By the way, with these webinars, what I do is at the end, I always open up to questions. And then when it's clear that you're going to have any questions left, we call it a day. But I'm always happy to answer questions. That's the purpose of these. My voice lasted. Any questions? Okay. And again, you know how to get in touch with me. You know how to ask questions, hopefully. So please, I like getting questions asked. I'd much rather have an active student than an inactive one. I want you all to make it. Most people, just almost everyone who does all the work, passes the class. Not 100%, but close. There's a lot of people who do nothing. I will guarantee if you do nothing, you'll either fail or drop because class takes work. Any questions? Okay, well, we can call it a day. You can go have fun, whatever you're doing. I might take a bike ride. It's beautiful here.
Okay.
And you don't need to come on Monday, by the way. It's just a repeat. Tuesday, you want to if you can. Okay, I'm going to close it up. And you can log out too, by the way. The leave meeting button on this. Okay, if you're watching this as an archived orientation webinar and you didn't attend live, Don't forget, you do need to write that 5-page paper, so hopefully you did attend live. I'll say goodbye.